History doesn't shout, it whispers. And if you listen carefully, you start to notice patterns. Let's go back. Ancient Babylon. A plain called Dura. A massive golden image towering over the land. The command was simple. When the music plays, bow. No debate, no discussion, no exception. The order came from Nebuchadnezzar II, ruler of the greatest empire of his time. He didn't ask for belief. He demanded worship. And when civil power speaks with religious authority, that's when faith is tested. Thousands bowed, but 3 young men stood: Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. They weren't rebels, they weren't political activists, they were simply loyal to God. They remembered the commandment, "You shall have no other gods before me." Their resistance wasn't loud, it was quiet, but quiet faith can shake empires. The king raged. The furnace burned 7 times hotter. And in that moment, worship became a matter of life and death. Here's the question. Was the issue the statue? Or was it authority? The image was only a symbol. The real battle was over allegiance. Now turn to the last book of the Bible, Book of Revelation, chapter 13. John describes another power, a beast rising from the sea, authority, influence, global reach. And then, an image to the beast, and a decree that all should worship or face consequences. It sounds familiar, doesn't it? Babylon, repeated. Here's something powerful. The Bible doesn't just predict events, it reveals patterns. Whenever church and state unite, whenever civil power enforces religious practice, whenever conscience is replaced with compulsion, Babylon lives again. It has happened before, in different forms, different centuries, different nations. History whispers. The prophecy speaks of worship, and worship always centers around time, authority, and loyalty. In Scripture, the 7th-day Sabbath was given at creation, a memorial of God as creator. It wasn't invented at Sinai. It began in Eden. A reminder, God made us. We don't make him. But Revelation describes a time when false worship is elevated, when a day without biblical sanctity is exalted by human authority. The issue isn't just which day. The issue is, who has authority to define worship? God or man? Revelation says, the dragon gives power. In prophecy, the dragon represents Satan working through earthly systems, civil power speaking like a dragon, not with horns and fire, but with legislation, policy, mandates, pressure. And here's where it becomes personal, because prophecy says the decree goes to all the world, all nations, all tongues, all people, just like Babylon. The prophecy also says something fascinating. In a limited degree, it has already gone forth, meaning the spirit of compulsion appears before the final crisis. History shows this clearly. There have always been moments when governments enforced religious conformity, sometimes subtly, sometimes violently, and each time it tested conscience. Now pause. This is not a message of panic. It's a message of preparation. God never reveals prophecy to terrify. He reveals it to strengthen. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego weren't surprised. They already knew the commandments. They had already decided. The real battle isn't won in the furnace. It's won before the music plays. At its core, this isn't about calendars. It's about worship. Who defines truth? Who defines obedience? Who deserves ultimate loyalty? Satan's original desire in heaven was worship. Isaiah says he wanted to exalt his throne above God. So in the final conflict, worship becomes central again, history repeating. Imagine a time when unity is the highest value, when the world cries out for stability, peace, economic order, religious harmony. And then comes a solution, a universal day, a unifying practice. It sounds harmless, even beautiful, until conscience is removed from the equation. Because forced worship is not worship, it is control. Revelation describes a people who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. They aren't violent, they aren't political, they are faithful, just like those 3 Hebrews. And just like Babylon, the world will look at them and say,
"Why won't you just comply?"
The furnace may not look like fire. It may look like economic restriction, social exclusion, legal pressure. But God is still present in the flames. And here's the beauty. In Daniel 3, there was a 4th man in the fire. The king said he looked like the Son of God. Jesus doesn't always remove the fire, but he always enters it. You might ask,
Is this happening now?
the full decree? No. But the spirit of coercion, the blending of politics and religion, the erosion of conscience, those patterns have appeared before, and prophecy says they will climax. History will repeat. Not exactly the same, but unmistakably similar. Here's the part people miss. Babylon fell. The beast's power ends. Revelation doesn't end in fear. It ends in victory. The Lamb stands on Mount Zion. Truth prevails. The faithful endure. And worship is restored. Freely given, not forced. One day the music may play again. Not from instruments, but from headlines, from laws, from cultural pressure. And in that moment, each person will choose. Not loudly, not dramatically, but personally. Will we bow to convenience or stand in quiet loyalty? History is not just a record of the past. It is a warning and a promise. Because the same God who walked in Babylon's fire will walk again with those who trust him. And when history repeats, faith will rise. The final crisis isn't about fear, it's about faith. And the greatest act of courage may simply be standing.